Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the newly released Baxcalibur here in the Open Ultra League. And also we're going to see a ton of hard counter matchups in today's video. As we were completely unlucky. I think I encountered 5 steel type Pokemon, 4 fairy type Pokemon in 10 games here today. But we were able to came back from a ton of those matchups, which is kind of insane. So let's take a look at some of the gameplay here right now. We're going to have the Baxcalibur here as our lead. I actually thought of going for a Kyurem Baxcalibur backline, but I wanted to not do this because I feel like this Pokemon itself is fairly weak against a lot of Pokemon in the current meta. So I kind of did not want to do this at the current time. But let's take a look what we can do here right now in this matchup. We get completely hard-walled the entire way through already, and we're gonna see the Giratina in the back. We have a shield disadvantage right now, which is going to be horrible for us, and we can just spam those Dragon Claws while the opponent spams some back to us. So we're in completely horrible spot right now. But let's take a look if we can still do something here. We're going to be able to just go ahead and go for a Dragon Claw right now, which is gonna get them lower, but doesn't of course not get the debuff here, or not the debuff, not the knockout here of course. But we will be able to swap out now, and Baxcalibur will be able to get the full farm down here right now, as we will see the Sandslash coming back in. I can go for one Dragon Claw, which will actually get the shield from the opponent as well. And now I'm going to be able to just go ahead and go for a shield. This will get the Ice Punch onto me, and now I have to try to CMP tie here right now, which works out insanely well. This is a perfect CMP tie against the opponent. So now they're gonna go for the Ice Punch, but they're going to have basically no energy left, and now I just have to hope that I can somehow outspeed them with my Charizard and 1 HP left. We're going to be able to flip an entire hard counter matchup here right now and win this first game. And there are quite a lot of those battles here today because I get hard-walled the entire time. Reggie's still in the lead. Horrible lead for us. We're going to swap out and we're going to get greeted by a Charizard. I actually went for Thunderbolt on this Pokemon here right now because otherwise we would have been very, very weak to the Tapu Fini. This at least gives us somewhat of a play against Tapu Fini. In general, the team is a little bit weak, but there was not really a decent team that I was able to build around this Pokemon other than this one right now. And I was insanely unlucky today. Like, honestly, the amount of hard counter leads I encountered was definitely more than it should have been, I think. Like, if you take a look at Baxcalibur and like put it onto PA Poke and see what it's going to beat, there are actually quite a lot of Pokemon that you're going to be able to beat, like a Swampert, for example, or like even against like other starters, you're going to be fine. But no, we didn't encounter a single one of them. We only encountered Steel and Fairy type Pokemon today because why not? But still, we're going to maybe have a chance here, but sadly, I'm not going to be able to reach my Blast Burn here in time, and the opponent going to get the debuff here as well, which is actually important because otherwise I would have been able to farm down with my Baxcalibur here right now, which would have been super nice for us. But nope, we are not going to be able to do this. They're gonna go for the Focus Blast, and of course now we're gonna go down here. I didn't go for the Dragon Claw because it definitely wouldn't have knocked them out, so I just didn't want to waste the time here right now. This was, I think at least, this was the only neutral lead I had in the entire way through where I didn't get completely destroyed in the lead. So, we have the Jellicent against us, which is still not, of course, a decent lead. It's like a kind of neutral one. We still have to shield up the potential Shadow Ball here because it's going to do a ton of damage. And we're going to get out the Charizard here right now, where I misplay quite a bit. I also had a lot of lag, to be fair, during the battles, like frame drops, like not something that is really visible too often, but like those small frame drops, which was kind of awkward to count the fast move of the opponent. You see like a little bit of inconsistency in terms of when the wing attacks come through from the opponent. But here at least we're going to be able to catch the Dragon Claw from the opponent, as I can still go for a Blast Burn here right now. But it's all kind of a little bit not in sync right now, which is kind of awkward. But we can at least still go for a Dragon Claw. This Dragon Claw going to get the knockout against the opponent Charizard, but there's still going to be a shield down. And I'm going to be forced to go for a charge move here against the opponent. So, what am I going to do here? Of course, I'm going to go ahead and swap out into my Deoxys defense, as this is going to be the only answer really for this Pokemon, or like the best matchup for my Deoxys defense in general. But they're going to go for a Brave Bird here and going to swap out now. But I can get some damage onto the Jellicent. And maybe, just maybe, I will be able to farm them all the way down here before they can do anything against me. But now I'm going to still be forced to throw a charge move against the opponent right now. Now it comes down. Can we still survive the fast move pressure from the opponent's Pidgeot here right now? Of course, if we had better IVs, it would have been a little bit easier, but those Pokemon like Baxcalibur and like the pre-evolution is insanely rare, like literally insanely rare right now. So yeah, I just went for the best one that I basically got from them. So here we're going to get actually the knockout on 1 HP, which is insanely nice as well, coming back from at least neutral matchup. Speaking of hard counter, here we go. We're going to have literally the worst possible Pokemon to encounter. We're going to have the Tapu Fini, which is going to double resist the Dragon type damage and single resist the Avalanche, which is both, of course, not really ideal for us. So we're gonna swap out here, go into our Deoxys, try to go for a Thunderbolt, but sadly they're going to decide to shield this move up. And I make a little bit of a weird play here, most likely for you, because I'm gonna go ahead and use a shield. And yeah, I don't really know what I was doing here anyway, to be fair. But I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Psycho Boost, because I just didn't want to waste too much energy, and I kinda now decide to try to catch a move onto the Baxcalibur, which did not work out at all. And we're gonna go down to 1 Focus Blast here. Again, it is literally nearly unplayable right now for me, as we see here that the opponent is going to lag, and you see me here just not doing too much and now completely stopping, waiting if the opponent comes back, and now they're coming back. Of course, I got a little bit of energy lead here right now, but you're going to see right now it doesn't matter. Like, literally it doesn't matter, because the opponent completely destroys me anyway now with the rest of the Pokemon they have. Of course, I could have taken full advantage, get up to 100 energy and just destroy them before they even come back, because it took them quite a lot of time till the lag basically was fixed, but I didn't want to be that person, especially not in the beginning of the season. So, and here you're going to see, of course, the opponent's Talonflame on the back. It's a Pokemon that I actually kind of want to make a video about as well. Maybe this is going to be the Pokemon where I kind of want to make the perfect team around, which I did with like the Tropius last time, which actually got so many good reviews. So definitely going to try to make this maybe once a week, where I try to improve a team a little bit depending on the Pokemon that I have and see where weaknesses I got and stuff like this. But yeah, we were not able to win this. We had to hope that they go for a Flame Charge, and even then it would be a little bit tricky, because the Tapu Fini had a lot of energy. Another horrible lead here, and also against someone they're definitely going to watch this video, because I know that they're yeah, someone that watches my videos, so that's going to be nice. Of course, they're running here complete meta stuff. Usually they're running some cool spicy stuff, so I was kind of disappointed in them. Like, honestly, how could they? But they're going to completely wall me again, having the Steel lead, of course, having the Mandibuzz against me, and yeah, now I'm going to have to go into my Baxcalibur against the Mandibuzz, and you're going to see some plays from me here right now, which I'm going to do. I'm going to let this move go through, and you see me swapping out here after a little bit into my Charizard, trying to get some extra energy, which works out insanely well. And they decide to go into their Registeel, telling me that they're most likely not going to have the best matchup against the Charizard in the back. Let's see what they're actually going to have here right now. Is the opponent going to be able to still go for a Zap Cannon? I will be able to shield this move up, and we are not going to get the debuff, which is amazing, because they're going to have the Cresselia in the back. And maybe, just maybe, I still have some play here in order to win this game. But let's see if we're going to be able to do this. The one thing that I just have to hope here right now is that the opponent is not running Future Sight on their Cresselia. If they're running Future Sight right now, this game is over. This would do too much damage. But right now, we'll see here that the opponent is running the Moonblast. And Moonblast is going to not even two-shot me from this range, which I know, which I'm going to let go through. And where I can just go for another Blast Burn, now swap into my Baxcalibur, and I just have to hit one Avalanche here, and this is going to do a ton of damage here, as you're going to see. Bam, going to knock them out, and also the Registeel is going to go down here right now, as we're going to still have our one shield left and still win this game. As we're going to move on against the next opponent, I know already what one Pokemon that they're going to have in the back, because this is a mind joke, a very strong Italian player that always is at all the regionals in Europe, but they are always running a load and Sandslash, and there is literally no reason they're not going to run here right now. I tried to catch a move, didn't work out at all. A little bit of an awkward matchup. I should have went for a charge move against the Charizard for sure, by the way. This was actually kind of a really big misplay by me. And mostly, maybe, like, I would have been definitely able to force a shield advantage for me against the Charizard there in the lead, or the switch advantage, and both of them would have been so fine, knowing that they're going to have the Alone Sandslash in the back. So this was really a huge misplay by me to not go ahead and stay in the lead and just try to basically play it out. So I have to say that was definitely a huge misplay by me, and I definitely could have been better off, but they're going to actually run the Reg Ice as a safe swap, which would have been so nice already if I just had a little bit of more, I don't know, shields and just whatever, but like it's just a little bit of an awkward scenario right now. You see me undercharging here, the opponent's gonna go into a Sandslash. This was the first time I'm battling against Sandslash, and I completely forgot that Ice resists Ice, and the Avalanche is actually double resisted, while the Dragonclaw is single resisted. And I'm not sure if it's still really matters. I think they're still going to do around the same amount of damage, because Avalanche does way more damage than a Dragonclaw, like literally way more. I think like 35 more damage than a Dragonclaw, which is nearly the double. So I think it's going to end up actually still being the better move to go for Avalanche, even though it's double resisted. But yeah, it's still going to be a little bit awkward here, as they were able to catch the move, which didn't matter at all, by the way. Even if I went for the Dragonclaw there, for example, I still wouldn't have got to another Blast Burn. So like there was no real no worry winner there. So a good game to them. We're going to have here a horrible lead again. We're going to have a Wheezing against us, and this Galarian Wheezing is going to go for a Brutal Swing. And we're going to see a Jellicent coming in. And this is the thing about Deoxys defense as a Say Swap here right now. The amount of ghost types that I all of a sudden saw was insane. Like, I cannot recommend you at all Deoxys defense as a Say Swap. It just was insanely bad against the backlines in the current meta. Like, basically every second line had either a Jellicent or the Kaiwei in the back, which you're also going to still see. So for definitely Deoxys defense there, you can definitely try something different. Like, this Pokemon is horrible as a Say Swap. Did not work out at all. And now we're going to have, of course, if we get Hard Wall in the lead, if we get Hard Wall as a Say Swap, we're also gonna have to get Hard Wall in the back here as well. Having the Swampert against our Charizard, having the Fairy type against our Dragon type in the lead there with Baxcalibur, and also having the Ghost type against our Deoxys defense. Couldn't get any better, right? Maybe, just maybe, we still have a chance of winning this game though. Let's find out together. Are we going to be able to go for a Dragon Claw right now? We can go for another one afterwards. They can actually let this move go through if they wanted to, and they do, which is kind of awkward. And they do a great play here by going to wait one turn there. They wait one turn before they go for the charge move, and like this, there's nothing I can do. I'm still going to try to go for an Avalanche just to see if I can get the damage output there onto them, but no, I cannot. They're going to use a shield, and I can move on to the next game here right now, which is going to be a Clefable lead. If you didn't see too many Fairy type leads yet, here you're gonna go and definitely going to appreciate all the Fairy type Pokemon right now. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Like, what am I seeing here? Like, literally every single time we're going to get a Fairy type or like a Registeel in the lead so far. It is so wild. In comes, who would have thought, it's Jellicent. Man, I definitely miss this Pokemon so much already, as you're going to get completely hardwired with our Deoxys again, but hopefully they're just not going to have a Swampert in the back right now. Honestly, the thing is, before I've never encountered this team really. Like, I encountered like double fighting in the back and stuff like this, but I never encountered this team before, and now like, yeah, cool. We're gonna get completely walled again. Of course, I'm going to let the move go through here, which the opponent thought I'm going to protect my Baxcalibur, but like my Baxcalibur, like what is it supposed to do? It's going to end up against the Clefable. So why do you go for Surf? It doesn't make sense. But I'm gonna get one fast move advantage here against the opponent's Sandslash, and this gives me the small edge here where I might be able to still do something. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to be forced to go for baits here in order to have any chance of winning this game, which works out really well here for the first one. But let's see if we're going to bait the second one as well. And we kinda be forced to do this. And let's see, please let this, like, please shield this move up. They do, and like this, they're gonna get completely annihilated by our Charizard. Completely grilled and melted, as we're gonna now see the Clefable coming in. I can swap into my Baxcalibur, and yes, it's going to take some revenge on all the Fairy type Pokemon it had to encounter so far. Goodbye there, as we see the Avalanche coming through. Next opponent, next Galarian Wheezing. I honestly could not believe my eyes. Like, honestly, it was ridiculous. It was so insanely ridiculous how many, like, Wheezing plus, the Jellicent plus then Swampert core, I guess we're going to have here. It is going to be so wild. Honestly, I could not believe it. But still, we were able to come back from a lot of them already. Maybe we can actually come back from this one as well. We will see here right now. If the opponent plays it right, of course, there's no way of me coming back against those teams if the opponent plays it correctly. Like, it's always kind of having to hope that the opponent makes just a slight mistake where I can take advantage of. Is like the only way of me having a chance in this game. And here my opponent makes a great play, which I did not see at all. I think actually it was not this. I actually don't think it was this game. I think it was most likely the next game, which you see that. I think they actually gave me the free fast move. Basically, I have to get the free fast move here in order to have a chance here. Like, I have to have a one fast move advantage against the Swampert in order to have a chance of still winning this matchup here right now. Otherwise, there's no way of my Charizard being able to beat them. But let's take a look at this. We're going to be able to go for another Dragon Claw. They're going to go for their own move here. And we're still going to be able to survive with our Charizard, which is going to be nice because I can swap out, go for the Dragon Claw. And yes, now they're going to have their Galarian Wheezing against our Charizard, which is still nearly full health. And all of a sudden, we're going to go from a complete hard counter to flipping the entire match up just because we were able to store up some energy on our Baxcalibur, knock out the opponent, and also get the Wheezing into the red health already, allowing us to put them into range for just one Dragon Claw here as well. So we were able to come back again from a horrible lead, a horrible Say Swap, and a horrible Pokemon in the back with this team. Triple hard counter, we don't care. And we can move on into the final game. I think this was the person that was saying that they played it insanely well. Clefable. Guess what they're going to have in the back, by the way? Not actually a Jellicent, it's going to be the Kofigrigus. Amazing, isn't it? It is absolutely ridiculous. Like, have you ever seen more hard counter than this? And the fact that we actually still went at least neutral with this team is absolutely ridiculous and shows kinda, I mean, honestly, I played so many games where I did not deserve the win. Like, honestly, I was just able to utilize some mistakes by my opponents, which was really nice for me, but it was ridiculous to play against those Pokemon. Let's take a look here. Baxcalibur, going to be able to get the farm down, but also going to have to take a move. But what I'm going to do here right now is I'm going to swap out into my Charizard and get an extra move, and this was insane. The opponent swaps into their Swampert at the same time, and they just literally predicted this. I didn't get the free fast move in. Like, I'm now at the same amount of fast moves as the opponent, which completely destroys the game plan for me, because like this, I am not going to be able to do anything here. And you're going to see it right now as well. I'm going to be able to go for another Dragon Claw, but they're going to CMP tie onto the next one here. I'm hoping that I'm one away from the opponent, but I am not, sadly. So like this is going to be a CMP tie. There's no chance of me winning this game. Great play by the opponent to swap out literally in like a split second into the right Pokemon instead of like the Clefable, which would get hard countered. So this could be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoy me spending so much Stardust as well as resources on a horrible Pokemon, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.